Welcome to Endure Podcast. This is calm motivation for runners who keep going when it's hard. No hype, no noise, just endurance. Wherever you're running today, I'm with you.
There is a version of you that only exists in the dark. No cameras, no likes, no cheering crowds. Just you, the pavement, and the sound of your own breath. Most people will never meet this version of you. But this is the only version that matters. Let's stay here a little longer. Let's slow this moment down, because this moment is where everything begins. The alarm goes off. That sharp sound cuts through your sleep. Your eyes stay closed for a second longer than they should. Your body feels heavy, not just tired, heavy. Like gravity is stronger this morning. Your mind wakes up before your body does, and it immediately starts negotiating. Just 5 more minutes. You trained hard yesterday. You'll do it later. You deserve rest. The bed feels perfect, warm, safe, still. Outside it's dark, not the peaceful kind of dark, the quiet, empty kind. The kind where it feels like the world doesn't need you yet, and your brain leans into that. Nobody will know if you skip today. There's no race. There's no deadline. There's no audience. And the scary part is, your brain is right. Nobody is watching. There is no crowd. No medal waiting. No one standing outside your door cheering. This is the moment most people turn over and go back to sleep. This is the moment discipline disappears. You could stay in bed. You could stay warm. You could stay comfortable. You could choose the easy thing. And for a second, you almost do. Then something small happens. Not motivation, not excitement, not energy. A decision. Quiet, simple, almost invisible. You swing your legs off the bed. Your feet touch the cold floor and it shocks you awake. Your body complains immediately. Your calves feel tight. Your lower back feels stiff. Your shoulders feel heavy. You stand there for a moment, still half asleep, still unsure. You find your socks in the dark. You sit down. You pull them on slowly. You lace up your shoes. The sound of the laces pulling tight feels louder than it should, like the room is listening. You grab your keys. You open the door, and when it clicks shut behind you, everything changes. You are alone now. The street is empty. The air is cold. The sky is still dark. No one needs anything from you. It's just you and the road. You start moving, slow at first, stiff, awkward. Your legs don't want to cooperate yet. Your breathing is shallow. The cold air hits your lungs and makes you cough. The first mile feels longer than it should. Every step feels louder than normal. Your shoes slap the ground in the silence. Your mind starts asking questions again. Why am I doing this? What is the point? What am I proving? Your legs feel heavy. Not sore, heavy. Like they're pulling you back with every step. The road feels endless. The darkness feels thick. And that same question keeps coming back. Why do we do this? Why do we choose discomfort when comfort is right there? Why do we wake up early or run late when nobody is watching? Why do we push through pain when there is no reward waiting at the end? And that question, that is the real reason you are here. Because the answer has nothing to do with running, and everything to do with who you are becoming. Here is the truth. We don't run for the body. We think we do. We tell people it's about fitness, about weight, about pace, about health. Those things happen, yes, but they are not the reason you keep coming back. We run for the mind, because the body will complain. The body will always look for comfort. The body wants rest, warmth, and safety. But the mind is where the real battle is. Every time you step out the door while the world is still sleeping, you are doing something rare. You are keeping a promise to yourself. Think about that for a moment. How many promises do people break every single day? I'll start tomorrow. I'll be more consistent. I'll change when things slow down. Tomorrow comes. Nothing changes. Most people don't fail because they are weak. They fail because they stop trusting themselves. Every broken promise teaches the brain one thing. I don't follow through. But every time you run, especially when it's hard, you teach your brain the opposite. You teach it, I do what I say I will do. That is integrity. Not the kind you show to others. The quiet kind. The kind nobody sees. When you run alone, you are practicing honesty with yourself. No audience. No applause. No reward. Just effort. And effort changes you. But something else is happening at the same time. Something deeper. Something physical. You are changing your chemistry. Let me explain this simply. Your brain is always chasing a feeling. A sense of pleasure. A sense of relief. A sense of calm. Most people get that feeling the easy way. They scroll their phone. They eat sugar. They buy things. They distract themselves. It works for a moment. Then it fades. And when it fades, they feel restless again. Empty again. Anxious again. So they chase the feeling again. That is the loop. But when you run, you step out of that loop. When you move your body and push through discomfort, your brain releases chemicals that lift your mood and quiet your thoughts. Dopamine, serotonin. These are the chemicals that help you feel calm, focused, satisfied. Here's the important part. Because you earn these chemicals through effort, your brain treats them differently. The feeling doesn't disappear right away. It settles in. That's why the world feels clearer after a run. That's why your problems feel smaller. That's why your breathing slows down and your shoulders drop. You didn't escape your stress. You processed it. You didn't distract yourself. You worked through it. And that changes how your brain sees you. It starts to associate effort with relief, movement with calm, discomfort with growth. This is powerful. Because now, you are no longer waiting for life to make you feel good. You are not dependent on comfort. You are not dependent on motivation. You can create your own stability, step by step, breath by breath. When you run alone, you are not punishing yourself. You are training your mind to regulate itself. You are teaching your brain that happiness is not something you scroll into. It is something you build. And once your brain learns that lesson, it never forgets. This is why runners are different. They don't chase mood. They create it. They don't wait for calm. They earn it. They don't avoid discomfort. They use it. And every run makes that connection stronger. You aren't just running. You are wiring your brain to trust effort. And that changes everything. So stop calling yourself just a runner. A runner is someone who moves their legs. That's an action. That's an activity. But what you are building here is not an activity. It's an identity. You are something else now. You are a finisher. Anyone can start. Starting is exciting. Starting feels clean and full of hope. Buying the shoes is fun. Signing up for the race is fun. Telling people about your goals is fun. Starting makes you feel like a new person. But the middle? The middle is quiet. The middle is repetitive. The middle is where the excitement fades and the work remains. The middle is early mornings, late nights, cold air, heavy legs. The middle is where doubt lives. This is where most people disappear. They don't quit at the beginning. They don't quit at the finish line. They quit in the middle. They quit when progress slows. They quit when nobody is cheering. They quit when the novelty is gone. But when you run when nobody is watching, you are mastering the middle. You are training yourself to stay. Stay with the discomfort. Stay with the boredom. Stay with the doubt. This is not about toughness. This is about patience. Listen to me closely. The world is full of people who need an audience. They need a boss to tell them when to work. They need a coach to tell them when to move. They need a notification to feel important. Their effort depends on external pressure. But when you can perform without an audience, something changes. You become self-directed. You become grounded. You become dangerous. Because now your actions don't depend on praise. They don't depend on recognition. They don't depend on permission. You show up because it is who you are. Not because someone is watching. Not because someone is counting. Because this is your standard. This is what separates a runner from a finisher. A runner asks, "How do I feel today?" A finisher asks, "What needs to be done?" A runner waits for motivation. A finisher moves without it. A runner needs excitement. A finisher understands commitment. When you run alone, in the dark, in the cold, you are practicing something rare. Self-respect. You are saying, "My word matters. My promises matter. My effort matters." Even when nobody sees it. Especially when nobody sees it. This is where identity is forged. Not in public victories. Not in race photos. Not in applause. But in quiet decisions made over and over again. Every time you choose to run when quitting would make sense, you reinforce a powerful belief. I'm the kind of person who finishes. And that belief does not stay on the road. It follows you into your work, into your relationships, into hard conversations, into uncomfortable choices. Because once you prove to yourself that you can endure the middle, very little can break you. So ask yourself something today. When you lace up your shoes, who is running? Is it the person looking for approval? Or the person building character? Is it the person chasing a feeling? Or the person becoming disciplined? Is it someone who needs permission to move? Or someone who demands excellence from themselves? Choose carefully, because the miles are shaping you. And the person who finishes this run is the person you are becoming. I know it hurts sometimes. I know there are runs where your legs feel like concrete. Not tired, heavy, like every step is pulling you backward. I know there are days where your chest feels tight. Your breathing feels shallow. Your thoughts get loud and aggressive. Stop. Slow down. This is too much. That voice can feel urgent, almost like a warning. So let's talk about why that happens, and why, even though it feels uncomfortable, it is actually a good thing. This is about stress tolerance. Your brain has one main job: keep you alive, keep you safe. It doesn't care about goals. It doesn't care about progress. It doesn't care about who you want to become. It cares about comfort and safety. So when you run, your brain notices the effort, the elevated heart rate, the heavier breathing, the burning muscles, and it panics. It thinks, this feels hard. Hard means danger. So it sends signals: fear, doubt, urgency. It tries to protect you by making you stop. That tight feeling in your chest, that wave of doubt, that sudden desire to walk, those are not signs that you are weak. They are signs that your brain is doing its job. But here's where things change. When you keep running, when you slow your breathing, when you stay calm inside the discomfort, you teach your brain a new lesson. I am stressed, but I am safe. This is powerful, because the brain learns through experience, not logic. You can't explain to your brain that you're fine. You have to show it. Every time you run through that uncomfortable moment without quitting, your brain updates its understanding of stress. It learns that elevated heart rate is not danger. It learns that heavy breathing is not failure. It learns that discomfort does not mean harm. Over time, this changes how your brain responds. The part of the brain that creates fear becomes quieter. The part that keeps you calm becomes stronger. This doesn't just happen during running. It carries over. That's why runners don't panic as easily. That's why they stay composed in hard conversations. That's why they don't break under pressure. They've trained their brain to stay steady when things feel intense. So when you are 2 miles in, and your legs feel heavy, and your mind is screaming to stop, and you don't, you are doing something much bigger than building fitness. You are building a brave brain. You are practicing calm under pressure. You are rehearsing patience. You are strengthening your ability to stay present when things hurt. That heavy feeling in your legs, that's not just fatigue. That's your brain learning a new rule. This is hard, but I can handle it. And every time you prove that to yourself, your stress tolerance grows. The next hard moment feels a little less overwhelming. The next challenge feels a little more manageable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get steadier. So don't fight that feeling. Don't panic when it shows up. Recognize it. This is my brain learning. This is my nervous system adapting. This is strength being built. Breathe through it. Stay with it. Move forward anyway. Because that discomfort, that's not a warning sign. That's the sound of your mind becoming stronger. Embrace it. Okay, now we know why we do this. We know it changes our brain. We know it changes who we are. But knowing why is not enough. The real question is this: how do we keep going when it gets really hard? When motivation is gone, when the body feels slow, when the mind is tired of fighting, we need rules. Simple rules. Rules you can follow even when you don't feel strong. Here's the first one. Rule number 1, the just the shoes rule. When the alarm goes off, do not think about the run. Do not think about distance. Do not think about pace. Do not think about hills or weather or time. That is too much. That is how the mind wins. Instead, shrink the task. Your only job is to put on your shoes. That's it. Tell yourself, I don't have to run. I don't have to be fast. I don't have to finish. I just have to put on my shoes. This matters because your brain hates big decisions. Big decisions create resistance. Small actions feel safe. Putting on shoes is easy. It doesn't scare your brain. It doesn't trigger panic. And once the shoes are on, the hardest part is already done. Most runs are not started on the road. They are started in the mind. The shoes remove the debate. And when there is no debate, movement follows. Now let's talk about the second rule. Rule number 2, the first mile is a liar. The first mile always feels bad. Always. Your legs feel stiff. Your breathing feels awkward. Your mind feels heavy. That first mile will tell you stories. This is a bad run. You're tired. You should stop. Do not listen. The first mile does not know the truth yet. Your body is still waking up. Your joints are still warming. Your breathing is still finding rhythm. Judging a run in the first mile is like judging a day in the first 5 minutes. It's unfair, and it's inaccurate. So give yourself time. Tell yourself, I'll give this 10 minutes. I'll let my body warm up. I won't decide yet. Most of the time something shifts. The breathing smooths out. The legs loosen. The mind quiets. Not because the run got easier, but because your system came online. And even on days when it doesn't, you still win. Because you showed up. You stayed with it. You honored the process. That's what matters. Here's the third part, and it's important. Do not negotiate while running. Negotiation leads to quitting. When your mind starts asking, should I stop? The answer is already decided. Instead, make the decision before you start. I am running today. I will move forward. I will finish what I started. No arguing, no debate. Running is not about how you feel. It's about what you do. And when you follow these rules long enough, something changes. You stop needing motivation. You stop needing hype. You become consistent. And consistency is where endurance is built. 1 pair of shoes, 1 mile at a time. Your brain loves patterns. It craves them. It looks for them. It remembers them. Think of a field of tall grass. If you walk through it once, the grass bends under your feet. You can see where you walked. But if you leave it alone, the grass slowly stands back up. The path disappears. Nothing has really changed. But if you walk that same path again tomorrow, and again the next day, and again the day after that, something different happens. The grass stops standing back up. The ground flattens. A trail forms. And soon, you don't even think about where to walk anymore. Your feet just go there. This is exactly what happens inside your brain. Your brain works through paths. Not motivation, not willpower. Paths. Every action you repeat creates a pathway in your nervous system. The more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. The easier it is to follow next time. This is what people call neural pathways. But you don't need the big word. Just remember this. Your brain becomes good at what you practice. Every time you choose to run when you don't want to, you press that path down a little deeper. You make it easier for future you. Every time you quit, you let the grass grow back. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. A hard run once in a while bends the grass. Daily runs carve the trail. And here's the part most people get wrong. Consistency is not about discipline. It's about biology. When you repeat an action enough times, your brain stops questioning it. It stops negotiating. It stops resisting. Running becomes familiar, normal, expected, not easy but known. That's why people who run consistently don't debate with themselves every morning. The decision has already been made. The path is already there. This is how habits are formed. This is how identity is formed. You are not forcing yourself to run anymore. You are acting in alignment with who you are. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who finishes. I am someone who does the work. Those thoughts don't come from motivation. They come from repetition. And this works both ways. If you consistently skip, your brain learns that too. It builds a different path. A path that leads back to comfort. Back to excuses. Back to delay. That's why missing one run matters more than people think. Not because you lost fitness, but because you weakened the path. This is not about being perfect. It's about being honest. When you run today, you are not just completing a workout. You are reinforcing a pattern. You are telling your brain, this is who we are. And the more you say it through action, the louder it becomes. Eventually, it's no longer a question. No longer a fight. You lace up your shoes without thinking. You step out the door without drama. Because the trail is there. Deep, clear, familiar. Consistency is not something you summon. It is something you build. Step by step, day by day. And every time you choose to run, you carve the path a little deeper. Until one day, you don't wonder if you are a runner anymore. You just are. Can you feel that? That quiet shift inside you. That calm that wasn't there before. That steadiness. Take a second and notice it. This is not the feeling of being hyped. This is not adrenaline. This is not excitement. This is self-respect. And self-respect is built slowly, quietly, without witnesses. You didn't do this run for a medal. You didn't do it for a photo. You didn't do it for a number on a screen. You did it because you said you would. That matters. Most people don't understand how powerful that is. They think confidence comes from winning, from being seen, from being validated. But real confidence comes from keeping promises when no one is there to hold you accountable. Think about who you were before this run started. Tired, unsure, maybe a little doubtful. Now think about who you are right now. Still tired, maybe, still breathing hard, but different. More grounded, more honest with yourself, more solid. That difference didn't come from speed. It didn't come from distance. It came from staying, from choosing effort over comfort. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm goes off, when it's dark outside, when the house is silent, when the bed feels perfect, when the excuses line up and sound reasonable, remember this moment. Remember how this feels. Because the invisible run is the most important run. The run nobody sees is the run that changes everything. Anyone can show up when people are watching. Anyone can perform with applause. But showing up in silence? That builds something different. There is no crowd cheering for you. Good. Learn to cheer for yourself. There is no camera watching you. Good. Learn to watch yourself. Learn to notice the small wins, the quiet discipline, the steady progress. These are the moments that shape you. Tie your shoes. Feel the weight of them in your hands. Feel the familiarity. Feel the ritual. Open the door. Let the cold air wake you up. Let the darkness surround you. Step into it. Not with anger, not with pressure, with intention. You don't run to impress the world. You don't run to prove anything to anyone else. You run to meet yourself, to find out who you are when it's hard, to see what you're capable of when comfort is removed. And every time you do, you come back a little stronger, a little calmer, a little more sure. This is not about becoming perfect. This is about becoming dependable, someone you can rely on, someone who shows up even when it's inconvenient, someone who finishes what they start. So as you finish this run, slow your breathing. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your feet on the ground. Let that feeling settle in. This is endurance. Not loud, not flashy. Earned. Carry this with you. Into your day. Into your work. Into your relationships. Remember what you did here. Because this road, this silence, this effort, it wasn't just a run. It was a choice. And you made it. Now go. Go run. And when it gets hard again, come back. I'll be here.